Hey everybody, Juan here for Pocketnow, and MWC is right around the corner. We'll be getting the full scoop on a number of major smartphone announcements, but we wanted to take a couple minutes here to focus on a brand that's been struggling a little bit with its own brand identity of late, and that's LG. Rounding up what we know, what we don't know, what we hope for, and what we're a little nervous about for the LG G6. Immediately, one of the biggest talking points LG is showcasing is the bigger screen in the smaller body. We're pretty confident about these numbers: a 5.7-inch display with a resolution of 2880 by 1440. Now, if you're one of those tech publications that's still calling that an 18:9 screen, maybe try reducing those fractions. That's like pre-algebra stuff. This screen will be twice as tall as it is wide. That's a 2:1 aspect ratio. This will still be an LCD, but LG is rumored to have been working on improvements to light transmission and contrast. Alongside this taller and skinnier display, we should also see the requisite shaving of bezels. Keeping that smaller hand feel is going to be important for the model of LG, which typically is not phablet territory. Now, we're all hoping for a little of that magic that the G2 brought to the table in delivering a larger screen size in an impressively small form factor. And of course, putting big specs and shrinking down that overall form factor, LG's been very vocal about the reliability of the phone and the battery performance of the device. The company's still trying to work off that negative vibe from the boot looping issues that the G4 and the V10 suffered, and of course, we all have battery issues on the mind following the Note 7. Now, moving over to performance, we probably will see a Qualcomm Snapdragon 821. To the disappointment of LG fans out there, it's a minor spec bump over the Qualcomm 820, and we probably won't see the Qualcomm 835, the next generation chipset in the G6. It's one of those timing issues as Qualcomm sorts out fabrication issues with the smaller chipset, knowing that Samsung's going to eat up a huge chunk of that initial batch, and it's potentially also a cost savings measure. We don't fully know yet the extent of all of the improvements that the 835 is going to bring to the table, and the 821 has proven to be a pretty reliable chipset for the Pixel and the OnePlus 3T. We also shouldn't underestimate what LG's been able to do in the past with the less powerful chipsets, eking out tremendous performance in the V10 and the G4 using the Qualcomm 808 instead of the more powerful but hotter and more inconsistent running 810. Getting back to the G6, we're also expecting to see a killer headphone, amp, and DAC combination in this phone. For audio fans in North America, the G5 was a supreme disappointment as the built-in headphone jack was kind of mediocre and we never got proper support for the add-on friend DAC for this phone. The V20 was a revelation for fans of higher quality audio and folks using nicer headphones. Getting that hardware built in natively on a G-series phone will be an excellent talking point for what differentiates an LG phone from the rest of the market. We're absolutely expecting the G6 to inherit the dual camera shooters from the V20. To the disappointment of some of the folks who follow our videos, that means moving from a native aspect ratio of 16:9 on the G5 to 4:3 on the G6. What remains to be seen is whether or not the G-series phones will inherit some of those more advanced photo and video features found on the V-series phones. With a more powerful chipset, there's absolutely no reason why the G6 couldn't inherit manual video controls and expanding on some of those microphone and audio controls that we love on the V20. Less artificial, more intelligent, and that means we're probably going to be seeing Google Assistant show up on the G6. In fact, LG is billing it as the first non-Pixel phone to have it built into the operating system. We really would have expected more devices by now would include Assistant, but if any manufacturer has the relationship with Google to really push that AI envelope, it probably would be LG, especially after their recent run with Android Wear. One thing we're not entirely clear on: the back casing design. We've seen several leaked photos pointing to a brushed metal exterior rear and a really high quality leaked photo pointing to a glossy back for the G6. And both phones might be real. We also have some other rumors pointing to a premium option for the G6, and maybe that's where the glossy back comes into play. That certain markets might be picking up the G6 with LG Pay, which is very similar to Samsung Pay and having different coils on the back of the phone, and other markets might be picking up a G6 with wireless charging built in. Both of those technologies a little more difficult to implement on a metal back phone. Regardless which type of back the phone has, we're pretty confident that this phone is going to swap a user removable battery for enhanced water resistance. We'll have to say goodbye to that fan favorite feature, but the trade-off is a pretty solid one, knowing that your phone will better survive spills or being completely submerged underwater. What we don't yet know is if the G6 will include the enhanced drop resistance found on the V20, if this is going to be something of a sister phone to the V34, which was found only in Japan. That mil-spec 810G drop and shock resistance would be a pretty excellent feature to include alongside the enhanced water resistance. And of course, the most important details to wrap up will be pricing and availability. Right now, rumors are pointing to a March 9th launch in South Korea. with the American market following almost a month later on April 7th. This would still put LG ahead of the proposed timetable for Samsung's next generation Galaxies, but it's close enough that there's a danger of people playing wait and see before putting their money down on a phone like the G6. So long as consumers know exactly what these products are going to cost and when they will be able to get their hands on them, that'll be a step in the right direction for this company. The smartphone industry is still feeling that gap left by the Note 7, and LG has a timing window here to win over some hearts and minds. For consumers, competition is key, so let's hope LG is able to take advantage of those opportunities. And of course, we want to hear from you. What rumors do you think are most plausible about the LG G6 so far? What do you hope to see inside LG's next generation G series phone? And what would convince you to switch teams if you're currently using a different manufacturer's products? Drop us a comment down below this video. I'm really curious what you all have to say about the LG G6 and whether or not this will be a make or break phone for LG. As always, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to this channel for more commentary videos like these, and help us out with some sharing on your favorite social networks. For Pocketnow, I'm Juan Carlos Bagnell, some gadget guy on Twitter and Instagram, and I will catch you all on the next video. I don't know why I've been bothering to do all this working out and stuff. Apparently, if you just have the norovirus for a couple days, you'll lose a ton more weight.